Broadcasting live from the Spire of Industry on the plain of Kaladesh. This is Tap Tap Concede. Hey everybody, I'm Graham.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Alex.
And Spire of Industry is sweet also.
Yeah, it's kind of like Tower or City of Brass.
Yeah.
With, you know,
This
I
is
mean,
a weird
sometimes
one.
it doesn't work, but most of the time it
Well,
does.
at least this one actually taps for colorless.
Yeah.
Because City doesn't do anything unless you want to pay a life to get a colored mana out of it.
Yeah.
It's better and worse than Glimmer Void. Because it taps for colorless if you don't have an. Well, I mean, it doesn't explode if you lose your artifacts,
True.
and it's also City of Brass. But yeah, I don't know.
You suffer 1 damage
You
whenever
suffer
City
one
becomes tapped.
You don't take a damage. You
Wow.
suffer it.
You suffer. City of Brass.
Back in the day when
remember
Icy
old-
Manipulator turned this into like a 20-turn clock.
A lethal, yeah, like a liability.
Wouldn't it be great if we could just write anything we wanted on Magic cards and they didn't have to mean anything?
Give me like the little paragraphs and teeny text.
Love old templating. But talking of new templating, today on the show, we're gonna. I'm a big fan of these episodes. We're gonna talk about cards from Aether Revolt that are relevant for Highlander. And the reason I'm a fan is because I don't play Highlander, but I think it's neat, and so I like to hear where the local communities come down on the new sets. But before we get to that, a reminder that Tap Tap Concede is brought to you by CardKingdom.com. If you head over to CardKingdom.com/LRR, then that uses our affiliate code and lets them know that we sent you, and we would really appreciate if you did that, because it's great for everybody. We use Card Kingdom ourselves. That's why we let them sponsor the show and our draft streams, and they have amazing customer service and incredibly fast shipping. And if you let them know in the comment field, "Loading Ready Run sent me," button please, then you'll get our little 1-inch button, which right now says "Tight Plays" and has been flying off the shelf.
Awesome.
I'm glad. I sent them like way more than usual this time, and they're already half gone.
Wow.
I need to get one of those.
Because it was the set release,
Yeah.
and it's the first set release since we've started talking about Card Kingdom on TapTap.
Right.
That's probably it. And of course, this show, as well as everything we do, is brought to you also by you at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Please check that out because it supports all of our things.
Sorry, as a random factoid, just because we're talking about City of Brass, because of how it's worded and how the templating works, you can actually, unlike normal stuff, you can actually respond to the City of Brass, the thing that makes you lose life with City of Brass.
It goes on the stack?
Yeah, because it's not actually part of the cost of tapping the
because
card.
it's you lose 1 life whenever City of Brass becomes tapped.
It's not tap and pay 1 life, do it.
You can
Right.
also
It's not
prevent,
part of-
you
it's
can
not
also
part of the
prevent that
cost.
damage. So
Yeah, so you can actually respond if you're at like 1 and you can somehow win the game with an instant.
Right, because it pings. Yeah.
You can somebody tries to tap it to kill you. You can respond and
What a
win.
weird
I guess.
card.
it's very peculiar.
Tap City for 1 mana, hold priority.
However, if you need that 1 mana in order to win and you only have 1 life, that doesn't work because it would go on the stack after the thing that you.
Well,
Weird.
Anyway,
magic.
Random
magic,
factoid.
Magic.
Yeah. Huh,
Man.
interesting. All right.
Write whatever you want on the card. It doesn't matter.
Magic. We're going to start by cracking a pack. Go for it, Alex. There goes the giant
Come on,
die.
big money.
But it's
17.
1, 20, 19, 18, 17. Ooh.
what is?
Oh,
Oh,
that
it's Chinese
Chinese magic?
origins.
I think so.
Yeah, Chinese Magic Origins.
This is from Chase at PAX Prime 2015. And Graham's? Oh, is this mine? I guess this is
I don't
mine.
know.
Oh. Just take the
yours
pack,
now.
wander off.
I put my name on it, so I guess it's mine. Alrighty. Hieromancer, something Hieromancers.
Yeah.
Grasp of the Hieromancer.
Garsp.
1 and a white for a creature enchantment. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has, whenever this creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. I love that ability, the whenever this creature attacks, tap a creature, but on an aura...
Yeah, it's...
I definitely lost a game to this,
Yeah.
and I felt really bad about it.
Yeah. This... the auras in this set were weird. Like, it's any set with like a card like Fiery Impulse in it makes these auras a hard play.
Yeah.
Or not Fiery Impulse, Fiery...
No, yeah, the
Yeah.
burn spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good card.
What's this one? Something about...
This is 4 mana. Either look at someone's hand and pitch a card,
Yeah, what's
or
it called,
they
though?
can discard 2.
Night Snare. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, that player discards that card. If you don't, that player discards 2 cards.
Oh, they stapled Thoughtseize to Mind Rot.
Yeah, so it's... You
And
get
kept the mana cost of both.
Yeah, so either
Yeah.
you get to pick one, or you're just like, whatever, just take any random 2, I don't care.
Dump it.
I mean, if they only have 2 left,
Then you just
then
make
you
them
get them
pitch.
both. Also, you get their land in that case.
Yeah.
Because if you're picking, you have to pick non-land. But if they if they reveal their hand and they have 2 land, then you're just like, oh, well, pitch both of those. Which I guess is interesting. Dragon Fodder. Everybody loves Dragon Fodder.
This was from Shards originally,
Yep.
wasn't it?
Yep.
It's a good card. Very playable in goblins. And just like tokens.
One goblin is standing much closer to the camera. He's not giant. Just so that we're all clear.
I initially thought that was the dragon,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and we were just seeing
Oh
one
no,
of the
it's
goblins.
just foreground. Funny, this card is printed in a set with Devour as a mechanic.
Right.
So you would literally feed these to a dragon.
Right.
I always like Jun's fuzzy goblins.
They look sort of like
Fluffy
rats.
goblins.
I like the ones from Khans,
Oh, yeah.
from Tarkir.
Oh yeah, they've got a
Yeah.
bunch of alternate art.
Little Yeti one. Well, this is the one from
Yeah.
Tarkir.
Dragons.
Yeah. There's also like a promo,
The Atarka goblins.
like Fate Reforged maybe.
This one is honestly a little unclear to make out because they're
Yeah.
like Yeti creatures and they're white fur, white snow.
I remember the world building panel at PAX Prime, like 2014, I guess, just before cons launched, and they were showing the art for the goblins. I was like, oh, these guys look so cool, and because I thought they showed what the goblins were going to look like, and I thought they were headshots because the Tarkir goblins are so they're like a head with 4 limbs.
Yeah.
Basically,
If you-
I got the perspective all wrong.
The goblin token looks amazing. Unless you're finding the goblin token, I have the next card ready. Okay. Celestial Flare.
Oh,
White instant. Target player sacrifices an attacking or blocking creature.
that seems strong.
They're holding up 2 white. It's probably safe to attack into that, right?
I mean, it was definitely an easily telegraphed spell.
Yeah.
But you could also pretty easily,
Like bluff it.
yeah, like trick your opponent into using it or into walking into it, which was nice.
Here's the token battle.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He's great.
I'm free.
Next up, you might have seen that Timberpack Wolf.
Oh,
There it is. 1 and a green for a 2/2 wolf, which is totally fine. It's the ye old grizzly bear stats. But it gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control named Timberpack Wolf.
Yeah.
So if you control 2, they're both 3/3s.
so if you
Yeah.
rip like 6 of these in a draft, you're going all the way.
I definitely saw like 5 in one draft. Wow. It was ridiculous. Stratus Walk, reprint from Theros. 1 and a blue, creature enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted creature has flying and can only block creatures with flying. So it sort of gives it like the Welcome turn. Or more recently, I guess, the Longfin Sky Whale ability.
Yeah.
This was great in Theros because you wanted heroic. You could blink stuff to draw cards. Giving your like heroic Voltron flying was good. I don't recall this being very good in Magic Origins.
No, there were just good flying creatures to be had in Origins in blue.
Speaking of cards that are not great, Bellows Lizard.
Hi.
It's a 1/1.
Fire breathing with tax.
Yeah, it's a 1/1 for a single red mana, and it gets for 1 in a red. You can give it +1/+0 until end of turn. It's not.
Yeah,
not great.
no. Oh.
Oh man, cards that are great. Topen Freeblade.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Topen Freeblade, 2/2, 1 and a white with Vigilance and Renown 1. When this creature deals damage to a player, if it isn't Renown, you put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it becomes Renown.
I want to see what's outside of the frame, like the sword just like in somebody's eye, and they're just like
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
attacking with a 2/2 on turn 3 and then blocking with a 3/3
Dang.
felt good.
Yeah, because if you were on the play and you were like turn 2 Topin Free Blade and they didn't have a blocker, then you got to attack and then you have a 3/3. Didn't tap because it got vigilance. Topin Free Blade was just very good.
Yeah. I'd happily play a deck of these things in this format.
Returned Centaur, it's 3 and a black for a 2/4 zombie centaur. When it enters the battlefield, target player puts the top 4 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. I recall why you would play this in Theros. I don't recall what the graveyard interactions were in
There was like
Origins.
Spell
Mastery.
Oh, of course
and
there
it was
were.
just like, not for this.
No, this was not great.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Claustrophobia, as auras go, pretty good.
Yep.
1 blue, enchant creature. When Claustrophobia enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature, and enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So it's like a blue pacifism, basically. It just sort of makes the creature go away.
What this?
This one, very cool. Zendikar Incarnate. Zendikar. 2 red-green for a star 4. The star is indicated by the text there. Zendikar Incarnate's power is equal to the number of lands you control. So minimum, because presumably you're casting this without mana rocks, you've got a 4/4 for 4, which is great.
I think it's
Then
bigger.
next turn you untap, play your land for the turn, and you're attacking with a 5/4. And then a 6/4, and
Seems all right.
it just sort of scales up.
Yeah. Was this the first set where we saw the what are now the familiar cycle of gold cards that put you into a draft archetype or into a limited archetype? Or had we seen those before?
I think they've been around before, but yeah, there's definitely in the last couple of years. There's definitely sort of like gold cards, like a cycle of gold uncommons in all the color pairs that sort of signal, hey, this is what this color pair is good at doing.
Yeah.
I don't recall the name of this one, but it's pretty straightforward. Right, Gold Forged Sentinel. It's a 4/4 flyer for 6.
Yep. Sure is.
It gets in any deck.
Yep.
It's pretty all right.
Yeah.
Like it's super unexciting, but it's
Yeah.
actually fine.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was
Sometimes you just want to pay a lot for a Sarah Angel without vigilance.
There's one called Aether Snap or something. Oh, Anchor to the Ether. 2 and a blue, sorcery, put target creature on top of its owner's library. Scry 1. So it's sorcery speed,
Griptide.
Griptide kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or Time Ebb or whatever.
Yeah.
Or no, Time Ebb just bounces, doesn't it?
I always forget. I never know what these effects are called.
I can't remember if Time Ebb is just a bounce or if it actually is a top of the library.
Flip it, rip it.
Okay, it is
Yeah,
Time
Time
Ebb.
Ebb.
All right, so this is exactly Time Ebb. It's better Time Ebb.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
it's
it
the
is
same,
too.
but you get to scry one.
Get to scry
Is
one.
it still a sorcery?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay, cool. And, oh, wow, I don't remember how to pronounce this guy's name, but the rare is, right, Kothofed. Kothofed Soul Hoarder. 4 black for a 6/6 flying legendary demon. Whenever a permanent owned by another player is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card and lose 1 life.
I will be your most demanding master, Liliana.
Funny story. That's not a May ability.
Yeah,
And I definitely killed someone with their own Kothofed.
I was gonna say I definitely remember losing a game to Kothofed triggers. Did you kill me with my own Kothofed?
I think this was in Magic Online, so I don't think it was me, unless we have video of it, in which case it was totally me. But I don't recall.
I did. No,
I'm pretty sure
or
during
maybe I'm self-inserting into someone else's story, which occasionally happens. But yeah, I definitely remember it. Yeah, this is not a May ability.
yeah, it's still a really good card.
Yeah,
It's still a 6/6 flying demon for 6, and then you get like random value.
Kothofed, you have a problem.
I
People
don't
like-
have a problem.
People are like walking into his house and there's just like souls stacked everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like in
dude,
boxes and
you
stuff?
gotta throw some of these away. I need them all.
I might
They
need
could
them.
they could be
No,
useful
this
for
one,
something.
This one's it was I don't.
Can you get rid of this mind rot?
No, I need it. What if they have?
It's a perfectly good. It's
He's
a
just
brand
like
new
all in on
mind
corner
rot.
cases.
Wow, Magic players do that too. They're like, no, but in this particular instance, it's good.
It's so bad.
Right.
Stop playing it.
Concept hoarders.
Yep.
Well,
Speaking
I mean,
of-
yeah, I was gonna say like that comes up a lot. Like we've talked about that before, where a set's being spoiled, and I'll be like, oh man, this card is so sweet, and I'll be looking at it from like the perspective of the design, or if I think it'll be good in limited, and you'll do the same thing if you think like the art is rad, or if it will play well in Highlander, and we'll get people on Twitter being like, well, it's unplayable in modern, so it sucks, and it's like, well, no, Hank, there's other ways to play the game.
More than one way to assess a card.
And one of those ways is Highlander.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen us talk about Highlander before, you may be
Canadian Highlander,
new
no
to the
less.
show. But Highlander, aka Canadian Highlander, it's a 100-card singleton format. It is not like Commander. It is played 1v1, normal life totals. And
no commanders.
It's much more like a constructed cube than
that's exactly
Commander.
what the format is.
Yeah, its DNA has much more in common with Vintage than it does with
it's
Commander.
100-card constructed cube.
Yeah.
Which is
And it's super fun to
super
watch.
fun. It's super fun.
And every set we like to bring Alex on, and not that he's not here normally, but we like to bring Alex on to talk about cards that are making waves in the local Highlander community, because there's usually not a huge number that sort of like trip the Highlander signal, but
There's been ones that
I love hearing about why they do.
I don't we haven't had a chance to actually play with them yet. I think Monday's going to be the first tournament that it's going to be legal, but there's definitely been a lot of buzz about.
Yeah, because the set we're
things.
recording this on the 20th, so the set officially releases today.
Yep.
So what's making waves in Highlander?
Oh man. See, I'm just looking at like a card that I'm excited about. Kari Zev Skyship Raider,
Ooh, yeah.
or AKA Monkey Pirate.
Yeah, Monkey Pirate seems pretty great.
I think she's really good.
Yeah.
Like 1 in a red gets you a 1/3 with First Strike and Menace.
So that's weird, right?
Those are weird abilities to have together.
That's a very odd combination of words.
But wait, there's more. Whenever she attacks, you put a legendary 2/1 monkey creature named Ragavan that's tapped and attacking and exiled at the end of combat. She's a teeny tiny Geist of St. Trapp.
Yeah.
Which is a little different because the creature itself has the evasion, not the
token.
Not the token.
Right. So, I mean, because there were a lot of, like, Geist of St. Trapp, obviously a very good card, but there's a lot of situations where your opponent has a 2/2 or a 2x.
And then it's just like, get in for 4 and he's dead.
Yeah.
This thing, you need 3 creatures to block entirely.
Yeah,
or she will get through for some amount of damage.
2 on Kari Zev, and the combination of creatures blocking Kari Zev must have a combined 3 power, and neither can have 1 toughness.
Yeah.
Which is like, that doesn't sound so hard. I can, 2 grizzly bears would do that. But again, in
you play a lot
Highlander,
of pikers.
Yeah, it's like
Pikers start sweating when they see this coming.
like obviously you can think of a pair of creatures that can block Kari Zev, but actually encountering that pair, I mean, we saw this at the pre-release.
Also, I hear red plays removal.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, double blocking is not. Oh, fuck, I love Ragavan so
He's
much.
got goggles.
Yeah.
You can see them in Kari Zev's expertise. You can really see Ragavan just like going nuts.
He's going ham.
Yeah.
So it's like, also blocking the token is not great because it's just like, well,
It'll be back next turn.
yeah. Like, I can't get rid
Ragavan
of
never
this.
dies. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at him go.
Nice.
He's on her shoulder just like, "Roar."
I think she carries sword really well. It's a tiny mana investment for a pretty decent clock that works well actually on like attack and defense.
I almost threw up my mouth a little bit. When you say she carries sword really well,
Yeah,
you mean like one of the big
sort of
Sophie.
Fire and Ice,
Yeah.
sort of Feast and Famine, GT, stuff like that.
So with any of
Yeah.
the swords, I mean GT obviously is nuts,
Batter
but
Skull.
Yeah.
with any of the swords, she's then a 3/5
yeah, first strike.
with protection from 2 colors. 3/5 first strike menace with abilities. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think she carries sword real good. And then just throws monkeys at you. I think this card is nuts.
Speaking of cards that carry sword
What's
well.
that?
Well, I was just gonna say my thought is Ragavan is the monkey from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right. Yeah.
The,
Oh, man, how
the
great
invincible
would-
cursed monkey.
How great
that
would
can
it have
never
been
die.
if when Ragavan hit you, like it did the thing where it stole an artifact from your deck.
Oh no!
Oh,
like obviously
like Thala Adele.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like it broke your stupid crab, moron.
wow. Cam, you were saying things that carry swords?
I forget her name now, but the dwarf soldier, the 2/2 with double strike for 1 white with revolt.
I think she's good. There's a lot of
what color is she?
revolt cards.
She's white. Her revolt trigger is at the end of turn if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on her.
So it's a 3/3 double
Solemn
strike.
Recruit.
Yeah.
3/3 double strike for 3 seems playable.
Yeah. So it's
Wait, 3/3?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a 2/2, but
Yeah.
it gets a counter if you trigger revolt.
Yeah, every turn you trigger revolt.
I'm sorry, what? No, no
At the
way.
beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the
Yeah,
battlefield.
every
Okay.
turn you trigger revolt.
It gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
What?
Now,
I thought it was just the turn you cast it.
No.
Now, how would one go about triggering Revolt in Highlander?
Fetch lands
Yeah,
are the
exactly.
immediately obvious one. But like,
How is this better than I thought it was?
yeah.
I'm gonna be sick.
But yeah, there's a lot of things coming in and leaving the battlefield in Highlander.
All the time.
All the time.
That's messed up.
Tokens get sacrificed.
So this could be like a 4/4 by the time. Well, like in 2 turns. That's the nut.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like if on turn 3, because don't forget, it doesn't matter if Solemn Recruit is in play, right? If on the turn you cast Solemn Recruit, you crack a fetch land
Yeah.
to get something, and then
Which is very likely.
Then you use that mana to cast Solemn Recruit.
It's a 3/3.
Then it's a 3/3
with double strike for 3.
The turn you cast her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems very good.
It's very good. Revolt is a mechanic that is definitely getting some attention. Like the interaction with fetch lands is really big because it's basically compare it a little bit to Morbid
Right.
because it morbids off your permanents, like permanents.
Well, Morbid is any creature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it triggers. Revolt is like Morbid, but only for your stuff.
Right. Okay.
But it's more stuff.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of
Right, because Morbid was any creature, and Revolt is your permanence.
yes.
But it means, stuff like...
But your permanent's not dying, leaving the battlefield for any reason.
Yes, Morbid had to die.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can trigger revolt off of flipping top. Are you okay, Ken?
Oh my god.
Restoration Angel is also a wombo with
Right.
Oh.
Because Sensei's Divining Top is the ability that you tap it, and you put it... And you tap it, draw a card, and put the top on top of your library.
yes. So it leaves the battlefield.
That's really good.
Yeah, there's 2 right off the top of my head is Narnum Renegade and Greenwheel Liberator.
Right.
I think are,
Which one's Narnum Renegade?
so Narnum Renegade is a 1/2 for a green. With Revolt, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It enters the battlefield with 1. Like it doesn't trigger every turn, but it's basically like
Is it the one with Death Touch?
Also,
yeah.
Death
Yeah.
Touch.
Oh
Okay,
right, yeah,
that's
it's
the
the
relevant-
just randomly has Death Touch.
That's the what makes
That's-
it good.
So
Yeah.
you play this
Like-
turn 1 off of fetch, and it's a 2/3 with Death Touch for 1,
Yeah.
Oh,
which makes it better than Curd Ape.
Man, fetch lands just make everything better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because like a 1/2 with Death Touch for 1 is actually just very good.
Yeah,
Honestly, like it's
Yeah.
that's
super
probably
playable.
fine.
But then if you're able to like you say, turn one
Or
fetch land.
again, in an aggro deck, it's like maybe you get in if you trade or kill one of their creatures, you play this post combat and get it anyway. Same thing with Greenwheel Liberator. It's just a piker, but you get 2 +1/+1 counters.
Yeah, I had Liberator in my pre-release deck. So it's
It's-
a 2/1 for 2.
It's heavy.
It's just it is just a piker. It's 1 and a green for a 2/1, which is like fine. But if you have Revolt, then it's a 4/3 for 2.
See,
More Tarmogoyfs.
Revolt, a very cool mechanic. Gotta say, kind of a flavor fail. Like, I feel like if you're gonna have a revolution, it's like, let's all, come on, guys, they took our Snapland. It's like, wait, that was just how Snaplands are supposed to work.
They took our Bloodstained Mire.
They took our gerbs.
We did that intentionally.
Yeah, we did that intentionally. We don't really have to rally behind that as a cause.
And you, as the planeswalker controlling them, is like, yes, correct. They did that.
They
to
took
us.
our Sensei's Divining Top. Yeah, and they did last turn and the turn before and the turn before and the turn.
Get 'em, boys.
It's hard to get super worked up against the
Yeah.
Sensei's Divining Top coming out of there.
I suppose we should get like the obvious out of the way as well fairly early on with
Yep.
Fatal Push.
Okay, yeah, Fatal Push
yeah.
is probably just the best card in the set.
Yeah,
Like across
it's-
all formats.
It's really stupid.
yeah,
so
like black finally got its lightning bolt or path.
Yeah, well,
Single black mana instant. Destroy target creature if it has converted mana cost 2 or less.
so it's like
so
it's a small
Let's
smother.
pause there. What does that hit? What relevant things in Highlanders does that hit?
So much stuff like Tarmogoyf. My brain is locking
Mom?
up. Mother of Runes.
So like, would
like-
Fatal Push be
Deathrite.
be a big include in Highlander if it was like if it didn't have the revolt stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Just-
people would play this even if it didn't
Just
have more text
one
on it.
destroy target creature.
Yeah, Deathrite
has-
Shaman.
Most
Big ones,
goblins.
Actually, the big one is
Mons Goblin Raiders.
Yeah.
That
Scavenging
sweet.
Ooze.
Highlander
Ooze,
bomb.
yeah, this blows
Yeah,
away
Scavenging
skews.
Ooze, and it doesn't care how big it is.
Yeah, or most goblins, I said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not,
yeah.
they said Mons
Yeah, like,
Goblins. I was
Format
like,
staples like Ooze, Tarmogoyf,
Yeah.
Deathrite Shaman, like various other just like little nuts and bolts creatures, most aggro creatures.
But it does have more text,
But it does have more text.
which is if you trigger Revolt, say with a fetch land, then you destroy target creature that has converted mana cost 4 or less.
which hits almost everything in the format.
Yeah.
Almost. The number of playable.
That hits Resto Angel.
Yeah, that hits Resto
This
Angel.
thing kills.
That hits Anafenza. That hits
Yeah.
like any 4-drop creature. Like
Which the
3-drop.
okay, I was gonna say it was like
Yeah.
Anafenza.
No, I'm trying to
There's
think.
2 Anafenzas and one of them dies anyway. But yes.
So it's like because I
Like-
mean in Highlander the whole idea is that like you're not even like a 5-drop is the top of your curve.
It
right?
kills Siege Rhino.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
hold on.
that's maybe kind of a big deal. It's like, how much would you like to pay to kill Siege Rhino?
How
Was
about
it
one?
Was it 1 mana?
Yeah.
Winner, chicken dinner.
And it
Wait,
kills, like-
wait, what did they get out of it? Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a land, no life. It's just dead.
Like even without Revolt, this gets like Gaddock Teague. This gets.
Yep. Just
Yeah.
There's many creatures that.
Yeah,
it
this
hits.
is usually going to have a target. I mean,
So, yeah.
the adage that being that there are wrong threats, or there are never wrong threats, but there are frequently wrong answers, is very minimal with this.
Yeah.
right?
So, like you said, unsurprising, the card that's great in every format is also good in this
Yeah.
format. What else has jumped out at you?
I think some people. Well, Ben Wheeler was stoked about Hope of Girapur, but that's just because he loves flying men.
Yeah, he was also really stoked about Skyship Plunderer.
Yeah.
So,
Two
But
one
Hope
for
of
one and a
Girapur
blue
actually looks
flying.
good.
real quick, Flying Men is the name of a card. It's
From Arabian Nights.
yeah, it's called Flying Men, even though it's a single. This is back when just they didn't quite have card naming pinned down, and it's a 1/1 for a single blue
That flies.
with flying.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's
not
Suntail Hawk.
It's
in
not.
blue.
It's not that exciting.
It's not good.
But
Yeah.
there's a niche deck in the format called Flying Men that just plays nothing but these guys.
Yeah.
And like,
now we mentioned it's a singles and format, so you can only play one of the card named Flying Men.
but there's many
But-
cards that are just like this one.
Yeah.
So sad that you can't go summon the flying men anymore.
Yeah.
Now they're just summon human.
Summon Flying Men. So yeah, Hope of Girapur. It's a 1/1.
It's like, so you mean it's a human?
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's a
a-
flying man.
No, it's
Dude, he's got a carpet.
Flying Men.
Yep. Hope of Girapur is a 1/1 with flying for 1 colorless. It's an artifact creature.
That's even easier to cast.
It's a legendary artifact creature.
The legendary doesn't matter. You're in Highlander.
And its ability is sacrifice Hope of Girapur until your next turn. Target player who is dealt damage by Hope of Girapur this turn can't cast non-creature spells.
So how good is that in Highlander? Is that actually good?
I don't know. I think it could be good. It's like this weird silence effect that I could see being, in some cases, relevant. Like I think the card's good because
Again,
like
Wheeler just mostly.
yeah,
likes
well,
it
like a
'cause
1/1,
not
it's
another Flying Man.
he doesn't care about the rest of the text, but it is good text. I think. It's like 1/1 flyer for 1 sold. Oh wait, it does stuff.
How does just briefly, because I'm fascinated. How in Highlander, which is locally at least a very competitive format,
Yeah.
how does Wheeler make Flying Men go as a deck?
It's just like you'd have to talk to him because it's like this weird thing. He's actually performed reasonably okay. He's never won with it, but the deck works.
Never won the tournament.
Yeah.
But he's won matches.
I mean, it's one of those weird things where like Highlander, if you can engineer any form of consistency out of your deck, it will perform at some level.
Right.
And the deck is just nothing but super undercosted flyers and free counter spells. And a supremely greedy, well, like, really thin mana base. I think
Yeah,
it plays like
32 or 33 land.
not even. I think it's like
Really?
30.
Wow.
So
Like
there's no. He's not.
one land keep.
So he's not.
maybe.
He's not running anthems or
No.
equipment or something. He's just like.
I think there might be a little bit of equipment.
But it's mostly just like,
But
no,
it's just-
I have, it's death by a thousand cuts. It's just,
Yep.
I have all these 1/1 flyers, and I'm going to sit here with like 3 of them and stop you from casting spells.
Pretty much. It's
Yeah.
just,
Wow.
yeah, it's just like
That sounds
if-
miserable to lose against.
evasion. It's like evasion aggro tempo kind of thing.
The classic archetype of evasion aggro tempo.
So
I do like the quote because, of course, Arabian Nights, all the quotes were actually from the Arabian
yeah.
Nights. It says, Sophia clapped her hands, and 20 flying men appeared at her side, each well trained in the art of combat.
Yeah.
Good, I
It's like-
guess.
yeah, it's like,
It's like each of them were fine at
Yeah.
combat.
Yeah.
well, yeah, like 1/1, sure. Okay.
I mean, hey, 20 flying men will kill you.
man,
Yeah.
can I just say I realize that I'm still not even done with revolt cards.
Yeah, bring it.
Renegade Rallier,
Oh, yeah, this guy's sweet.
1 green white human warrior, 3/2, pretty good stats. With revolt, when it enters the battlefield, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield, return target permanent. I thought this said creature the first time I read it.
Nope.
Target permanent with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Hey, what's the CMC of, say, a fetch land?
0.
Oh!
So this guy's
You
like,
can use him to ramp.
this guy's mini Sun Titan.
Yeah, he's mini Sun Titan. It's like, so you can even just like crash your creatures into combat and like get them,
I just love turn 3, crack a fetch, play rally, or get
your fetch back. Like this card's so sweet.
Again, we're talking about fetch lands a lot, but it's like
They're all over the format.
They're all over the format, and
Yeah.
they're an easy, free way to enable revolt, and a way that you control.
Yeah.
You utterly control that,
Speaking of control,
rather than like, well, I attack and I hope
one
something
more
trays.
revolt card.
Yeah.
Vengeful Rebel. 2 and a black, 3/2 with revolt. Target creature and opponent controls gets -3/-3 until end of turn.
What?
Yeah.
It's a teeny Flame Tongue Caboot that doesn't brick.
Yeah, because they're like Flame Tongue Kavu is an excellent creature in Canadian Highlander, but frequently you have it in your hand and there's no board
Yeah,
for your
Flame
opponent.
Tongue Cavu is a crazy good card, but
Mm-hmm.
it does have a fatal flaw, which is that if you play it into an open board, it must target itself.
Yeah,
So I've very frequently, as Cam says, been in the position where I'm just sitting on this Flame Tongue Cavu. It's like, play anything.
I wish you would.
I wish you would. But this, it's like if you're board stalled, then it's like, well, I don't kill something with this, but I have a threat.
Yep.
It has lots of power.
Right, because FTK must target
Yeah,
something.
target
and if
creature.
it's the only target, it just kills itself.
Yep.
Oh,
This-
okay.
And opponent controls if your opponent controls.
I just
the
wanted to
target.
make that
it
clear
works.
for.
Flame Tongue Kavu tries to hold in the sneeze and just it explodes.
Just wanted to make that extra clear for whoever didn't
blammo.
recall.
Yeah.
It's a
what
weird
Flame
thing,
Tongue Kavu
and,
did.
and you'd think that something with that much of a drawback wouldn't get played, but that card is so dumb.
Well, yeah,
4 damage.
yeah, 4 damage kills a lot
3
of things.
red
Yeah,
for a 4/2 that deals 4 damage to anything.
yeah,
It kills so many things.
yeah.
Its teeth are huge, and the like splashy mana cost, it's perfect. It's
Yeah, you
so
can play
good.
this post
So, wow,
to
yeah,
clean
it
up something
actually-
that blocked and like yeah.
like
It
this,
actually, like-
play this card. It's really good.
Like shave the numbers down, and
You could probably
the
play this.
vengeful rebel really is a small, like it's 2 in a red, so it's 1 less mana.
A 2 and a black.
Or so yeah, sorry, 2 in a black, so it's 1 less mana. For a 3/2, so it's 1 less power. To do -3/-3, so it deals
Yeah.
1 less toughness of. Yeah, it is like a little Flame
Yeah.
Tongue Kavu.
Yep.
Holy crap!
There is actually a different one that is a literally half-size Flame Tongue Cavu. It's called Fire Imp,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is like borderline playable in our format. Some
It's
people,
the piker. It's like the 2/1 for.
yeah,
One.
it's
Oh, okay.
it's the same creature but like smaller.
Yeah, sawn off FTK.
Yeah, it's also got really cute art.
His nose is on fire.
Yep, it's this card's fine.
What about the expertise cards?
Yeah. How are those going?
Let me tell you a tale.
Oh, please.
Playing
around,
playing
children.
against Alistair Howie.
Yeah.
So he ultimates Liliana against me and separates
Which
my
one?
Veil.
It must have been Veil, because
Yeah.
like he separates my permanents into 2 piles. Almost all of my land, like the rest of my permanents, a land and Soul Ring, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely taking the one with my permanents and Soul Ring. Why did you leave me my Soul Ring? He then casts Yahenni's Expertise and plays Reclamation Sage for free off of it.
So he had a real good turn, is what you're saying.
So Henny's expertise killed all the creatures you kept.
Yeah, and then busted Soul Ring. So I was left with like a land and maybe a creature.
And he has a threat, and Liliana, who's just like
Henny's expertise, by the way, is
What if like Languish was a little less powerful, but you got a big freebie out of it?
yeah.
Yeah, so a quick reminder, Henny's expertise is 2 black sorcery. All creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn. Then you may cast a card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your hand for free.
And that's just doing something fair with this card,
Yeah, it's
right? This isn't casting like not hypergenesis.
Oh, like a 0-drop?
Yeah, any of the
Ancestral Vision?
Yeah, ancestral vision,
I mean, you cast recall too. But
or living end. I don't even know what would happen if you cast living end off of this.
I think you just win. No, they all come back. It's weird.
Yeah.
But
I
like
wanna
just
try. I wanna
casting a
just be like,
3-drop
Judge,
for
I cast
free.
living end off Yahenni's expertise. How do I do?
Well, like just imagine if Bloodbraid Elf chose a card from your hand,
Yeah.
and instead of an elf, you got a board wipe.
what I love is that he
So Ancestral Vision, even though you can't normally cast it,
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
an uncastable spell,
but because you
its
can,
CMC is 0. So if you have the ability to cast a spell of a CMC for free, you can cast this for free. This is what
This is,
Bug Del or was it
Shardless Delver.
Shardless Bug? Yeah, because
Yeah.
like you cast Shardless Agent and you cascade into Ancestral Vision.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 mana for a 2/2 that draws you 3 cards.
Yeah.
Ancestral Vision, by the way, referencing the card Ancestral Recall, which was a single blue mana, draw 3 cards. Ancestral Vision is,
Recall on layaway.
yeah, like we said, it has no casting cost. You cannot cast it traditionally, but it has Suspend, which is an older ability that, in this case, you pay 1 blue and you exile it with some number of
Suspend
counters, and in this case 4. And then every turn one of the counters goes away, and when the last one's removed, you get to cast it for free. So you still only pay 1 mana, but you don't get to draw the 3 cards for 4 turns. But if you have Cascade, like on the Shardless Agent we were just looking at, or if you get to just cast a spell for free, then you can just play it.
Yeah,
Yep.
like Yahenni's expertise of that cycle is 100% playable. It's going to be pretty backbreaking, I think.
Yeah.
Like it's such a sad. Like I think that card could be like a 4, 5, 6 for 1, depending on how
Yeah.
many cards it gets. It's like really dumb.
I'm really looking forward to someone casting SRAM's expertise and casting Stoneforge Mystic off of it.
See, I was thinking SRAM's expertise and Spectral Procession.
Oh
Yeah.
God, no! SRAM's expertise is a 2 white sorcery. Create 3 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature tokens, and you may cast a card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your hand.
I
Without
think
paying
this
its mana
card's
cost.
also good.
I actually have a question about the specific line you just said. What is the CMC of Spectral Procession?
Oh, actually.
Is it 3 or is it
No,
6?
it might be 6.
I actually
don't
have no
know.
idea, because Spectral Procession is a very weird card where you can it's got 3 mana pips, and each one is either white or 2 generic mana.
Yeah, that might not
So
be
you
a
can
play I
cast
can
it.
make.
You can cast it for white, or just 6 mana of any color, or like white and 2, or white and 4. And I don't know what the CMC of this card is.
Yeah, I might actually be wrong about that.
Oh, it says on the card. This card's
then you
converted
can't.
mana cost is 6.
Well, Lingering Souls will have to do.
Right there in the reminder text. Oh, we'll just have to
Yeah,
cast
we'll
Lingering Souls.
just have to cast Lingering
There are
Souls.
already
bummer.
4 comments
Or
We caught that one immediately.
yeah, or the spell that makes 3 goblins.
Hordling Outburst.
That's the one.
Or
Makes 6 tokens.
the dragon fodder that you just pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hordling Outburst costs 3, so you can get maximum goblin value.
So I'd be actually
This was a play that I thought up. You cast SRAM's expertise into Reckless Bushwhacker.
Oh,
Get him!
Hold on.
right.
Get him!
Reckless Bushwhacker is 3 mana for a 2/1 goblin
Oh no! What?
with haste. Oh no, this is for the surge,
surge cost.
You're thinking of the other Bushwhacker.
Oh yeah, the other one.
Yeah,
But then
Goblin
you
Bushwhacker.
can't cast. I'm coming up with all these like sick plays that don't actually work.
So Reckless
I'll
Bushwhacker.
come up with something.
Reckless Bushwhacker, you can also surge for 1 in a red, and if you surge it, then all your creatures get haste and +1/+0. But you can't cast it for its surge cost for free, because you don't get to pay it. But Goblin Bushwhacker, you can't pay the kicker.
Yeah.
Man, I
None
wish
of
there
your
was...
stuff works.
Well, maybe
Is there a 3 CMC aristocrat with haste?
probably something,
Yeah.
or just like you could get an anthem out of this.
Yep.
what I was thinking about is in terms of effect. What do you think? How do you think the expertise would be different if instead of cast the card from your hand with CMC 1 less than the casting house thing? If it was like untap
3 mana.
3 mana.
That would be potentially stronger because
you can't say untap 3 mana.
Yeah,
you would
untap 3 lands.
You'd have to say untap 3 land,
Right,
and then you get
including
into a
like your
thing with,
Ancient
like,
Tomb.
Ancient Tomb,
Right,
Tolarian
right.
Academy, Gaia's Cradle.
That'd be pretty busted.
You get the bonkers
Ooh.
cards. Any of the Karoo lands.
Speaking of busted cards,
Please.
Whir of Invention.
Yeah.
So
Whir.
we're gonna take
Whir.
Horror.
y'all liked Quarter Calling, right?
Yeah.
What if it was Quarter Calling for artifacts?
Artifacts can be quite unfair.
That'd be a fair and balanced card. Like
yeah.
this is literally just Court of Calling for artifacts.
But this time Cord is spelled C-O-R-D. 'Cause
It's
like
blue X
tables.
instant with improvise. Your artifacts can help cast this spell. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1 colorless. Search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost X or less. Put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. The only saving grace here is that you can't pay for the blue
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that was
Cord you could
Cord
actually
you can
cast
just
for
cast
free.
for free.
Yeah.
Improvise is definitely
Not as
they fixed that. So
It's-
you can cast. It's interesting. Like if you have say in this case a torrential Gear Hulk, good for you. But you can tap it. You can tap it for improvise for a generic mana. You can't, even though torrential Gear Hulk is a blue artifact,
you still only get.
you can't tap it for one of the blue
Yeah.
things, which is again Convoke with Court of Calling you could tap a green creature to pay for green mana. So in this case, you pay green, or sorry, in this case with Whir of Invention, you pay blue, tap a bunch of artifacts,
and then put
instant speed,
vial
and then you
something
just
into play.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't play a lot of artifact strategies, but
Sundering
I
Titan.
saw this particular glimmer
Torrential Gear Hulk.
in Jeremy White's eyes. And I was like, oh boy,
Yeah, like
this might be on fast track to be getting pointed.
Tron,
Actually, wow.
really likes this.
Torrential Gear Hulk is a really good get with this card,
Yeah,
Ugh.
because you cast it again.
because then you
Oh,
for a 0. Oh, you could.
oh yeah,
You could cast this for a 0 CMC artifact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe not that great, but
No,
I mean,
but-
yeah, you probably don't want to be getting like a Mox on turn
not really.
10, but
By the time you have enough
Yeah.
to play it, but I feel
there's something, right?
I think in a format where Fabricate at one point was pointed,
Yeah,
this is pretty great.
yeah.
Which is
Fabricate is 2 and a blue. Search your library for an artifact, put it into your hand.
that doesn't even seem that amazing.
No, but it would find some pretty busted stuff.
But that was pointed.
Yeah, I don't know if it's points right now, but it was at some point.
Huh.
Because I feel like the Time Walk deck was like a little bit too powerful.
So here's a question.
Yeah,
Fabricate is not currently pointed.
Similar to
Okay.
they must have taken it down.
in the same realm as Fabricate,
Yeah.
you've got your Trinket Mage and you got your Treasure Mage.
Oh yeah.
But there's this new one, Trophy Mage, which does the same thing, but instead of something or less or something or more, it's only When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with CMC 3.
Exactly 3.
Reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your library.
It's probably
she's
gonna
also
be
a
good.
2/2 for 2 and
I mean, like
super
this,
picky mage.
This finds
Yeah.
swords.
Yeah, it finds any sword.
Oh
It
wow,
finds Crucible of Worlds. It finds
Oh.
Trinisphere.
yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Tangle Wire. It's a little slow on Tangle Wire, but like
You had me at it finds all the swords.
yeah, finding all the swords is pretty clutch in blue. It's like I don't know if there's a deck that you would. Well, I mean, I don't know, like blue something aggressive deck. You know, it's like find a sword,
Yeah.
get it.
Wow.
Yeah, but anything that lets you dig for your combo pieces is pretty compelling.
Yeah, like there's.
Trophy Mage is really kind of stuck in her ways.
Yeah.
But you know what? It works.
She's particular,
Yeah.
right?
I prefer precise.
Yes.
Can I just say that I do love the reminder text for improvise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
just that extra sentence that has no actual mechanical purpose, but
But
it's like your
clarifies
artifacts
it
can help
intensely.
cast this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that when they reprinted Convoke in the
Yeah.
in
Your
the-
creatures can
in the
cast-
core
help
set.
cast this
your,
spell.
your creatures can help cast the spell, and it's
They-
like
they're helping.
Oh, well, it's honestly.
Yeah.
I know we just said help a bunch, but it's honestly a very helpful piece of reminder.
Yeah.
text.
Well, it clarifies it for new players.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One card I'm kind of interested in, this is playing into my Cam stereotype, is Baral, Chief of Compliance.
Oh yeah.
For 1 and a blue, you get a legendary human wizard who is a 1/3. He has 2 lines of text. First one is instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 generic less to cast.
Run it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's real good. That's this
Goblin
is just like
Electromancer?
Goblin
Goblin
Electromancer,
Electromancer
only
who blocks
one-
better.
Well, who blocks better and is one less color.
Yeah. His second line of text reads, whenever a spell or ability you control counters a spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
What?
There are 2 extra words in that sentence.
Or ability.
Or ability.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, say that you counter a spell with Cryptic Command for 3 mana, and you draw a card.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Then
You
get
also get to loot. Like,
it's pretty good.
that's so
I mean,
good already.
you get to
right?
cast Mana Leak for 1 mana and draw and loot.
Yeah. You get
Good
to,
Lord. You also get to loot when you counter something
with Force of Will,
or with sacrificing
like
Glen
Curse
Elandra
Catcher.
Archmage.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Glen
Glen
Elandra
Elandra Archmage.
Curse Catcher, Judge's Familiar.
Yeah, Judge's Familiar is pretty sweet
Like
with this.
those 3 alone, like making those 3 cards, which are already like pretty good in the correct strategy,
'Cause what-
into looters.
What's sweet about that is that those are sacrificing the creatures. I mean, you have to pay 1 for Glen Elandra, but it doesn't use your
Mana at
mana
all.
as much, so then you get to loot into maybe a spell that you could cast for cheaper.
Yeah.
It's also
And
the
this triggers off of Counterbalance.
oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
It triggers off of Counterbalance.
Counterbalance, by the way, is
I wonder if this deck is
a
gonna
perfectly
come
fair
back.
card. It's blue for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, counter that spell if it has the same converted mana cost as the revealed card.
You know how good it's going to feel to play this guy on turn 3 holding up Negate? And your opponent's just like, Lightning Bolt, loot!
1 blue mana
Yeah.
negate.
Oh man.
My God.
He's literally the chief of the fun police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that actually is like his
Captain
job
Fun
in Kaladesh
Police.
Yeah.
is to be the
He's Captain Fun Police.
he's the captain of the fun police.
He's just
Write that
no
down for
fun
the nickname
allowed.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have 10 seconds to comply.
Yeah. So like, there's
Drop
like,
the Lightning Bolt. Dirtbag.
like there's so many cards in this set. There's one other one that I wanted to point out. It's not like amazing or anything, but it just caught my attention. Invigorated Rampage. It's a pump spell.
Okay. Oh, right.
1 and a red,
Okay.
instant.
Okay.
Choose 1.
Huh?
Target creature gains +4/+0 and gains trample until end of turn.
Hello.
That's pretty good. Or wait, 2 target creatures each get +2/+0 and gain trample until end of turn. You want to make sure your damage goes through.
So this goes into
make real-
this goes into your goblin deck.
Like this is probably like quite fine. There's a particular version of goblins that plays pump spells. I think in Gruul Beats, this is bananas.
Yeah.
Gruul
Yeah,
beats.
Gruul Beats, because you play like creatures that are too big for not enough mana, and then you just like give them trample and pump.
I assume that voltaic
Brawler? Yeah, this guy likes this card. It's like crash you for 8.
I assume that got into Gruul beats.
Yes.
Savage beating.
He's very, very good. But
Is the Aethersworn Leopard good enough to get into Gruul beats?
which one is that?
It is 3. I think it's 3 mana for a 2/3.
I just want to point out, like, the trample is the huge part of this. Like, compare that card.
Yeah, Aether Stream Leopard. Sorry. So yeah, because again, trample 2/3 trample for 3. ETB, you get an energy. Whenever it attacks, pay an energy and it gets +2/+0. So it's a 2/3 with trample all the time, but if you pay an energy when it attacks, it's a 4/3 with
I
trample.
think I would rather just play Yasova Dragonclaw.
Right.
Fair.
That makes a lot of sense.
Same mana cost, always 4 power.
This is what happens.
Yeah, it's like, this looks really
Highlander.
good, but this other card exists that's the same price and does better things.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
oh, right.
Yasova, it's a much larger cat.
Yep. Much larger cat.
Also, randomly has that other ability that's just
Yeah.
gross.
Oh yeah, you get to threaten things every turn.
Actually, that's a question I had. So, just real quick for those listening and not watching, Yasova is a 4/2 trample for 2 and a green. Has a second ability. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay 1 and then 2 hybrid. Is it? So in the case of Gruul Beats, you pay 1 red.
Yeah.
If you do gain control of target creature, an opponent controls with power less than Yasova's power, which again is 4, until end of turn, untap that creature against haste. You get to hit them with their own stuff. Speaking of threaten effects, what do you make of Wrangle? They've never made a 2-mana threaten before.
I'm intrigued
Yeah,
by this
Nelson's
card.
also like intrigued
He's
by
like-
that card.
Is this playable? Because like normal threaten effects do not see play in Highlander. They just don't.
Yeah.
It's actually the same.
The
Right? It's 4. It's the same as Dragon
Yeah.
Ball.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
the mind control effects that get played in Highlander are almost always stapled to a creature or have some sort of massive advantage. Like the steal your creature effects are limited pretty strictly to stuff like
Zealous Conscripts.
yeah, Zealous Conscript, like treachery, bribery, Sower of Temptation.
Right.
Like Vidalcan Shackles.
Yeah, Vedalken Shackles, however the hell it's pronounced. Occasionally Gilded Drake. That one's pretty corner case. I don't know if too many people know about Gilded Drake.
Serge, just real quick, because he wasn't on the post pre-release podcast with you guys. Serge had shackles.
Yeah.
In his,
Yeah.
in
That
his-
must have
in
felt
his
so bad for
pre-release
his
deck.
opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because that's the problem is that like,
He has to explain, because he knows how to abuse that card.
well, because he used it, he'd be like, steal your guy, and they'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'll put a pacifism on my own creature that you control.
Here, you
and
can
then
have it
Serge is
back.
like, oh, okay, untap, steal a new creature. And the opponent is sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Wrangle, sorry, it's 1 and a red for a sorcery, and it's gain control of creature and opponent controls, or actually just target creature.
power 4
with
or less.
power 4 or less until end of turn, untap it, it gains haste.
This could be really good. Like, 2 mana is really cheap. And the limitation is not that bad. So, like, again, off the top of my head, this could grab Siege Rhino. Or Tassiger. Or, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Could this grab Batterskull on a germ? It could.
Yep.
Alex
Yep.
just had a.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Because
It could grab Germ. It could grab a 1/1 or actually even a
right,
2.
because Batterskull by itself just on the germ is a 4/4.
Actually, this grabs a 1x or a 2x carrying sword
Yeah.
because it has 4
Yeah.
power. That's
Yeah, because sometimes, frequently Stoneforge Mystic picks up her own Sophie. Right?
yeah, like that's
Or
this.
not, it doesn't get Sophie because that's pro red, but like
I wonder what deck plays it though. Like I think
Yeah.
the card is worth consideration because like it's so cheap and it's not that limited to what.
Yeah, like the drawback is not really a drawback in Highlander.
Yeah, like one of the problems I think with Threaten is it's like 1 red,
yeah.
Yeah.
which
Or,
It's a big ask.
Or 2 in a red in the
Yeah.
case of like active treason.
yeah, and then their creature gets bigger later. But yeah,
No, active treason is just take it and hit them with
Oh, right.
the other one is
Mark of Mutiny.
Mark
That
of
was the one I
Mutiny
was
is
thinking
the one
of.
where it gets bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I could see this card getting played. I could see being horrendously blown out by this card out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Sorcery.
Yes.
Yeah, these effects are always.
Almost all
If it was an
effects, yeah,
instant, this
That's-
card would be stupid.
Yeah. Ray of Command is the instant
There was
speed
the
one.
red one from.
There was one
Battle for
recently.
Zendikar.
Yeah. And it was 5 mana.
Yeah.
It was amazing, but it was 5 mana. I can't remember what it was called. It was, but yeah, it was there was a devoid spell that was 4 and a red. That was it was basically Ray of Command.
Other cards that I know are seeing play in Highlander already are Aether Sphere Harvester. Nelson mentioned losing to this card.
Oh, it's the vehicle?
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, this vehicle looks super not fair. I saw a lot
Yeah.
of people after the pre-release on Twitter
the
talking
Looter
about
Scooter version 2.
it. This one, it's very strong.
It is a 3 mana artifact vehicle.
Okay.
It's a 3/5 with flying. When Aether Sphere Harvester
Oh.
enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy counters.
Okay.
It has an activated ability. Pay 1 energy. Aether Sphere Harvester gains lifelink until end of turn.
Dang.
Crew 1.
Anything that has crew 1 has been pretty
1.
good.
This is
Crew 1.
crew 1 for a 3/5 flyer with lifelink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
This thing's a beating.
yeah. That's like it's
It's
like
really hard to block too,
Yeah.
because
it
it's
is.
a 3/5.
it's got so much toughness too.
Yeah.
It's got toughness to spare. That's yeah, that seems good. I should probably get a hold of one of these.
Has anyone mentioned Heart of Kirin at all?
No.
No? Okay. I mean, has anyone talked about it in Highlander?
I'm not sure.
I mean, it seems like it should be a good card. Heart of Kirin is a 2 mana legendary artifact vehicle. You get a 4/4 flying vigilant creature. Crew 3, which is a real tall ask, but you may remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker you control rather than paying Heart
That's
of
a
Kirin's
weird
crew cost.
ability.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is a weird card.
It's really weird. Like, does this slide into Super Friends?
I want to say yes.
Do you want to be blowing your loyalty to crew this vehicle?
It depends on the planeswalker, I think. There are some planeswalkers that just don't ult.
I mean, it was
Right.
working for me pretty well at the pre-release.
Especially since you can crew it at instant speed.
I don't know how much of it you watched, but I had Nissa and Heart of Kirin. So for a couple turns in a row, I would +1 Nissa, animate a land into a 4/4, and then blow off the counter I just added onto her to animate Heart of Kirin.
Yeah.
It was not fair.
Yeah, like any
don't know.
planeswalker with a +2, I think. Do you want another Sarah Angel? I think. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
do I want one? Do I want one for 2 mana?
What about a colonnade? Right,
Yeah.
Celestial Colonnade.
I don't know. I imagine
like,
that this
this
one will probably get tested at some point.
Yeah.
I would be prepared for disappointment.
That's
But, yeah.
reasonable. Like that's why I'm asking these questions. The other one that I'm personally intrigued with is Treasure Keeper.
What's that one?
It is a 4 mana artifact creature. You get a 3/3 body. When Treasure Keeper dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card with converted mana cost 3 or less. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put all revealed cards not cast as
Okay.
random into your library in a random order.
Yeah, Treasure Keeper seems very cool.
It's a big ask. 4 mana in Highlander. There's a... You know, when you have access to vintage cards.
Do you know what this is like? This is like Sad Robot,
Yeah.
but it like actually replaces itself, and
It
it also has
also
more power.
Cascades when it dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Is that different from Cascade, or is that just Cascade written out because they didn't want to?
That's Cascade, isn't it? Reveal
Yeah.
cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card with CMC 3 or less. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost.
I think...
Yeah, that's Cascade.
I think Cascade was only ever on cast, but that's like...
Yeah,
you know,
so exactly.
That's the only real difference that springs to mind right now.
I can see this getting tested.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Because
kind of
it's-
fascinated by it now.
It's big enough to be a reasonable threat in a lot of situations and against a lot of decks that dissuades removal.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a 2-for-1.
So I've got one more question before I ask you if you have any other cards you want to talk about. The Flying Arborback Stomper.
I'm sorry.
So we've talked about how it's fairly trivial to get Revolt in Highlander.
Probably not hard. Although it'll be interesting seeing how that actually pans out in practice.
Airdrop Aeronauts.
Okay.
3 white, 4/3 flyer.
Uh-huh.
If you trigger Revolt, when it ETBs, you gain 5 life.
That's, oh man,
Right?
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I still think I would, well, it's like, it's got flying.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
like I'm
at
putting
5
the,
mana in a white deck.
well, you get Baneslayer
Yeah.
or you get Avacyn.
Yeah.
Well, this is definitely not as good as those.
So,
Because I know that Alistair was playing Arborback Stomper, but that's like a ramp deck.
I think,
Yeah.
I don't know if he cut it or not.
The other thing with
Well,
Arborback
we talked about
Stomper
how
was
he'd replaced it with
Yeah.
Thragtusk. But
Yeah.
this does die to Bolt,
Yeah.
which was why he replaced Thragtusk with Arborback Stomper.
Right. I don't know. I think maybe if you don't own a Baneslayer or Avacyn, this would be fine.
Yeah.
So probably not good enough for Highlander.
Yeah.
Cool, though.
It's cool. I mean, I feel like you're going to get blown out by this in draft quite a lot, or just like groan very loudly. Doesn't die to Fatal Push.
Doesn't that
No. Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Man, just I mean, there's the inventions, but those are just like, I mean, we knew these were good.
Yeah.
They were good before. Now they're
Yeah.
just shiny.
Actually, I have a stupid cute card that I'm going to try, and it'll probably not be good, but it's really cool. Winding Constrictor.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, green-black for a 2/3. If one or more counters would be placed on an artifact or creature you control, that many of those counters +1 are placed on it instead. If you would get one or more counters, you get that many of those counters +1 instead.
So if you would get an energy, you get 2 energy.
Yeah. If you would put 2 counters on Jite, you would put 3 on instead.
Yeah.
Oh! Crap.
Yeah, if you played any of your creatures that enter the +1/+1 counter, which in these colors there's a lot, like
The only possible downside I can think of
Is against Infect.
does anyone play Infect in Highlander?
one person.
Yeah, people
Okay.
have been trying to
And
make
he's
it work.
super high all the time.
He has been trying to make it work for years.
I
and
think
he's
the
tried
deck's
to-
actually pretty good, but
Yeah.
man, that guy's baked.
All right, so probably not worth cutting Winding Constrictor just for that.
Yeah,
Also, 2/3 for 2 is good.
it's probably fine.
good
If
stats.
this card was a 3/2, I would just be like slamming it in so hard.
Yeah.
I'm probably still gonna try and play it because like there's a ton of cards that this makes pretty hot. Like it makes your Scavenging Ooze put 2 counters on every time you do stuff with it. Yeah, any of the creatures with Revolt that we mentioned
the
before.
one we talked about earlier, yeah,
they get
the 1/2 with Death Touch. You get
like
a
now
3/4.
3/4 for 1.
How long
But
do
I
you think
mean-
Winding Constrictor initially, when it was made, like when they were playing it as an index card,
Yeah.
do you think it had the word permanent instead of artifact or creature? And then somebody came back from testing and is like, we have to talk about what you've done here.
On that permanent, yeah.
Oh, for like well.
Yeah.
I think as soon as anyone remembered that Planeswalkers
Planeswalkers
existed,
existed.
they
Yeah.
would have been like,
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, there's your update on what's.
Well, yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out because there's every time a set comes out, there's a bunch of like buzz about cards, and then like a few of them end up making it into the format.
So we should catch up later. Then we should circle back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean maybe we could do the entire like
block.
two blocks and be like, you know, what ended up getting played? Because like there's a bunch that ended up getting played. Like Torrential Gearhulk is pretty stupid, especially when you hit dig through time with it.
Yeah. Oh.
That feels bad.
Yeah, we should get Surge back on for that
Yeah.
show. That sounds good. So yeah, that'll do it for today on Tap Tap Concede. Thank you so much for listening. As a reminder, brought to you by CardKingdom.com. Go to CardKingdom.com/LRR for sealed product in the U.S. or singles anywhere in the world. And everything, as always, is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon, patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. Thanks so much for listening. Talk to you next time.
Bye.